Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and members of the IEEE community. I would like to welcome you all to this event, which is organized by IEEE Students Branch, where innovation converges with collaboration and ideas transform into action. My name is Maria Malik, and I'll be your host for the day. As we embark on this journey of knowledge exchange and technological exploration, let us reflect on the words of Albert Einstein. The only source of knowledge is experience. Today, in the spirit of shared experience and collective expertise, we will be covering doubts and questions regarding the CAT, commonly known as CAT, which is a very imperative examination for MBA aspirants. We are honored to be graced by the presence of Mr. Prashant Chaudhary, who has done his MBA from JBIMS Mumbai and Electrical Engineering from AMU. He has taken out his time to guide our aspirants with their doubts and how they can ace their CAT scores. I would like to request you all to garner this opportunity and utilize this event to the fullest. I expect active participation. So we will go ahead with Mr. Prashant Chaudhary introducing himself, and then we'll start with the Q&A round. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mariam. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. Hope I can start. So, yes. So this is a bit about myself. So I'm currently working as lead strategy market development at NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. I'm a senior of yours. I passed out in 2020 from AMU. I have done my BTech in electrical engineering. Thereafter, I have done my MBA in finance from JBIMS. Most of you might be knowing JBIMS, right? This session is all about CAT. So I have scored decently well, 99.93 percentile in CAT, with 99.96 in quants and 99.77 in DILR. You can see my scorecard. This is just for your motivation so that you can repeat the same after 3 days. So that is the whole purpose for this. I have also scored 99.98 in CET. Other than that, I have been guiding aspirants. There's a year gap, if you can notice, after my BTech and MBA. So in that year also, I was guiding aspirants at Unacademy and Oliport. I have also taught at times Bareilly. So that is a bit about myself. Just to give you a brief about what we will cover in this session. So of course, 3 days are left. Nothing is there that we can cover in this 3 days. This is just a dialogue between a senior who have done it and a junior who wants to do it. Okay. So that is it. I have previously did it. So that is why you can ask me how to do it. That is it. Okay. So you can ask me questions. You can ask me doubt. I will also tell you the basic, how to go about each and every section. What are the marks you should target to get a specific percentile and so on. Okay. In between, if you have any doubt, any question, you want to clarify anything, you want to say anything, just unmute and say that. Okay. So don't hesitate at all. Before starting, I just want to hear, or maybe there's a thumbs up option. I don't know whether there's a thumbs up option in Google Meet or not. If that is not, then maybe a yes will do. Okay. Or even the hand raise of all the active aspirants will do. Great. Oh, thumbs up option is there. I haven't, I rarely use Google Meet, so I wasn't really aware. Great, great. So we can start. So just starting notes. First thing first, that depending on your paper slot, the difficulty of the paper will not be decided. So don't even think that this is my paper slot and that is why this will be the level of difficulty then I can expect. Maybe in the past it have happened that slot 2 was more difficult rather than slot 3 and so on. Slot 1 will be the early mover, so they will have the early mover advantage as well as the difficulty, as they will be the one facing the storm. Okay. So of course that comes with the paper slot, but don't even focus on the paper slot. So whatever paper slots you have got, just be happy with that, or that should be the best for you. Other than that, which IIM is making the paper will also not decide the difficulty level of the paper. So don't even think about these questions. Don't even try to guess the paper difficult level based on that. And I will advise not to even look at what was the difficulty level in different slot. Let's say you are in the slot 3, as I was also in the slot 3. So don't even look at what slot 1 and slot 2 difficulty level was. Okay. Yeah. So like, if you really want to know that, know the paper pattern. If you want to know, okay, only the paper pattern will do, so that you know that what type of paper questions you can expect. That is it, nothing other than that. Second thing is, whatever have been your mock scores, whatever have been the paper result, the cat result can be very, very different from that, right? So in my mock scores, if I really remember that, I varied from 90 to 100, maybe my percentile used to vary. But one thing was very constant: in VARC I was not able to score anything. Okay, so most of the time it was it was below 80, sometimes it is below even 70, sometimes below 90. So never in my mock score lifetime I never scored more than 90 in VRC, and that is why I was very panicked that whether I will be able to clear the sectionals in VRC or not. Okay, but on the D day I scored more than 90 percentile in VARC. So there's nothing like that you will report you will repeat the mock scores or something like that. Okay. One thing you should have done till now is you should have marked your strengths and weaknesses. Please play according to that only. So what happens in the paper is we try to outplay our strengths or outplay our weaknesses. Okay, don't try to do that. Whatever you have observed during your preparation time, please be according to that only. Don't even try that maybe arithmetic have been my strength and now I will do the questions of algebra more, because in the paper I can see more questions of algebra. So don't even think like that now. Okay. Other than that, you all must be in anxiety. Okay, there is some kind of pressure of scoring on you. It is very okay to have that. Okay, all of us, I don't know any aspirant, whether he is a topper or he is under scorer. I don't know anyone who is not in anxiety or pressure before 72 hours before the exam. Okay, so it is completely okay to feel that anxiety. And if you're not feeling it, the anxiety, that means you haven't prepared well. So there's something wrong if you're not feeling it, not if you're feeling it. Okay, coming to the paper patterns, and I can't see any voice coming from you guys, so I will start. Do you guys know the paper pattern of VARC? How many questions are asked? How many of RC? How many of VA? Anyone? Guys, let's make it a two-way dialogue, okay, and not a one-way session. Okay, all of you are giving cat, right? So anyone can tell me what is the paper pattern of VARC? How many questions are asked in VARC?
Hello.
Yes, Tanishka.
Yes, sir. So there are four RCs, four questions each,
Yes.
and para jumbles, PJs,
Yes.
and odd one out, which was I think not there in 2022.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, that is it. Okay, great. So I don't know why guys are hesitating in speaking, but okay, that is okay. So there will be most probably, again, whatever I'm telling you is the expected paper pattern based on the previous years. Okay, so there will be around 24 questions. Out of that, 16 RC and 8 VA. Out of that 16 RC, there will be 4 passages of 4 questions each. Out of these 8 V8, 3 will be PJs, that is para jumble, 2 will be para summary, and 2 will be odd one out. This is what the expected pattern is. This is what you have seen across the mocks as well. Now, I will tell you what is the ideal way to attempt the paper according to me. If you're following some other strategy across the mocks and that worked for you, then please follow the same, and no need to digress from that particular strategy that you're following. According to me, in the initial 4 or 5 minutes of your paper, so whenever you will be starting with the paper, there will be a lot of noise noise. So what you have done as of now is that you have given some mocks, and most of the mocks that you have given, you were in the home environment, so there was no noise, complete pin drop silence. But that will not be the case in the exam. So in the exam there will be a good amount of noise, so that is not the right environment for reading. So I will not advise you to start with the RCs, rather go for VA. Once you are done with a little bit of reading in VA, then start with the RCs. So I will advise the first 5 minutes, let's do the let's do the VA part. Now in VA part also, I will try to maximize my score. Okay. Now let's say I want to maximize my score, then PJ will not be the right thing. Uh, I'm not saying a universal statement, but most of them, most of the aspirants will feel like PJ is not the right thing to do in the first 5 minutes. So what I will advise is in the first 5 minutes, try to do two para summary, two odd one out questions. And if it is possible for you, then you can of course try the PJs. If you like the PJ, then of course you can try it in the starting itself, right? But according to me, it is the ideal way to go. First 5 minutes, four questions of VA, two para summaries, two odd one out. Okay, that is the great way to go. Out of those four, you can definitely do the three questions, right? Because these are the easiest questions out of the VA. Now, once you're done with this first 5 minutes, you need to uh, jump on these RCs. Okay. Now, out of these first 5 minutes, or let's say 7-8 minutes, whatever you are spending, don't just complete all the VA. Pick some things out of the VA which seems easiest to you, and complete that. Uh, left like you can leave some of the part for the later part of the paper, that I will tell you. Other than that, after jumping to these RCs, there are 4 RCs. You need not to attempt 4 RCs in collaboration. What you need to do is you need to pick one by one, right? So what you need to do is you need to first gauge their difficulty level. So let's say there are 4 RCs, 1, 2, 3, 4. I will write. Maybe I will just mark them on a simple scale, easy, medium, or hard. So I will just go through, maybe in 15 or 30 minutes, 30 seconds, I will just go through that one passage, and I will mark whether it is easy for me or that is hard for me. So let's say I find first passage to be easy. I will mark easy there. Then maybe after going through the second passage, I find it medium. After going to the third passage, I find it easy. After going to the fourth passage, I find it hard. So this is what I will done in the next 1 minute. Okay, first 5 minutes I will do the VA. First 5 minutes I will do the VA. For the next 1 minute I will do this thing. Okay, next 1 minute I will do this thing. After doing this 1 minute thing, I will be able to guess that which passage to attempt and which passage not to attempt. So let's say first looks easy to me, third look easy to me. I will directly attack these two RCs. Okay. So in next whatever time I want to get through these two RCs, that can be let's say 7-8 minutes per RCs. So 7 and 8 minutes I will give to both of these RCs. Okay, and that will be a good amount. I mean, up till this, after attempting these 5-6 questions in VA, after attempting these two passes, around 25 minutes of your time is gone. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Sir, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. But like actually, most of our participants, like also there is like cat aspirants, but also most of us they just want to they want to have an idea of what like about the exam. Like
Mm-hmm. Okay, so most of you are this year giver, or how's it? I mean, you will be giving this year, or you will be giving in future?
In future, not this year. Mostly students are
Okay.
from second year and third year.
Oh, great, great. Okay, 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 okay. Uh, so whatever I'm
hello.
telling you is yes, yes, yes. Now you are audible, Maria.
Yeah, okay. I'm so sorry. I lost the connection. So it's just that if you could just in short, you could just brief out what is VRC or VA or
Okay,
something like this, if
okay, okay.
possible.
Great, 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 great.
Yeah, thank you so
Okay,
much.
but I'm getting comment that they are this year participants as well. Okay, okay, okay. So I will try to get a common point. Okay, because yeah. And I will prioritize those who have CAT exam just 3 days. I mean, on 26, this 26. Okay, so that is for sure. So just to give you a brief, what VAR says, I mean, I don't know what to tell in what VAR says, but yeah, I will try that. Uh, yes, Akram. Of course, I will prioritize those who have exams just 3 days after. Okay, so VAR says nothing but okay, questions maybe any question that is coming in chat we can take later after. Okay, after we have done this theory. So VAR is nothing but verbal ability and reading comprehension. Okay, so this is nothing but verbal ability and reading comprehension. Now when I say reading comprehension, that is the same RC you used to tackle in your childhood. Okay, the same thing, passage followed by 4 5 questions, whatever is there written in the RC will be asked in the question. Okay, so that is the concept of RC. But what happens in CAT is mostly the questions come in between the lines. So something is written, but that may not necessarily mean the same, and that is where the question of comprehension arrive. Okay, arrive. Let's say you're reading something. Okay, you're reading something, or two people are reading something. They might comprehend a different thing. Okay, I mean, let's say there is a paper pattern. Okay, there is a paper pattern written. So there are two persons who are reading the same thing, but they may comprehend the different thing, and that is where the questions of RC arrives. So this is all about what you exactly comprehend after reading a particular thing. So the questions may be direct, they may be very direct. Whatever is written in the passage might be asked, but mostly they are about what you can infer from what is written. Okay, so this is about the reading comprehension. In verbal ability part, if I need to tell you in the simple terms, that this is nothing but the English grammar, but English grammar of the reading comprehension. Okay, when I say English grammar of the reading comprehension, I mean some things which will be enabler of my reading. So when I'm reading any sentences, there are some enablers for me, and those enablers are nothing but these PJs, PS, and odd one out. When I say PJ, that is para jumble. So there are 4 5 sentences given. There are 4 5 sentences or the part of sentences given, and you need to arrange them in the same order. Okay, so let's say there are sentences 1 2 3 4 5. So there can be a different order for them. Okay, so there can be a different order, like they can be arranged in 3 2 1 4 5, and then only they will give a meaningful uh, uh, meaning to the combination of these sentences. This is the PJ, and para summary is nothing but there is a para given to you. You need to summarize that para in one particular sentence. So that is para summary. In the odd one out, you have given a particular combination of sentences. So let's say there are 4 sentences written like this, 1 2 3 4. So what you need to do is you need to find that which one of them is oddly placed. If that was not there, then the combination was right. So let's say 3 is wrongly placed, and you need to find this 3. So this is a bit about what we were discussing as of now. Okay, just to go back on the questions, if there are further doubts, if you're not able to comprehend anything, understand anything, just let me know. Okay, just let me know. Great. So now I think we are very clear of what we were discussing. Coming back to what I was saying, so we were done with the 25 minutes. What we have done is we are done with these 2 RCs, both easy RCs, and other than that, in first 5 minutes, we have done at least 4 VA questions. Okay. Now, if you look at the number of questions that you have attempted, it is very easy. I mean, it is very easy level of questions that you have attempted, and that's why the level of accuracy will be very high. So out of these 2 RCs and these 4 questions, your accuracy should be very much higher, and this is where you will score maximum. You will score maximum. Okay. Now after this 15 minutes, you will try to attempt one more RC. Now, let's say your speed is very good, you can attempt both the left RCs. But let's say I can attempt one or more RC, then I will attempt this second RC, irrespective of whether this is 4 questions or 5 questions or 6 questions, because this may happen that this is containing more questions. That is why you are very eager to attempt that particular RC. But that should not be the case. You should always go with the level of difficulty and not with how many questions it is attached to that particular RC. Okay, so let's say I attempt the second RC. Again, I will give, let's say, 8-10 minutes. So after 25 minutes, it is again 8-10 minutes. So your time might be 33 or 35 minutes. So let's say 35 minutes are gone. 35 minutes are gone. Only 5 minutes are left for you. You have attempted 3 RCs. You have attempted 4 questions. So what is left? Left is 1 RC, which is of hard level. So hard level RC will take at least 10 minutes. That is for sure. You have left with 3 PJs as well. So what you will do in the next 5 minutes is, of course, the time allotted for you is 40 minutes. After 35 minutes, only 5 minutes are left. Okay, only 5 minutes are left. So that means what you will do is, you will not attempt this RC and you will go for the PJ. Okay, you will try to attempt all those three PJ or whatever you can attempt in this 5 minutes, and that is it. That will be the end of your paper for VARC, and that is what is called it smart attempts. Now, let's say in this 5 minutes you start to attempt this particular RC because you are bad in PJ. In these 5 minutes, to be very frank, you will only be able to read the RC and not be able to attempt any question. So that should not be the case. That will not be a smart thing to do, right? So if that is, let's say, after attempting whatever you wanted to attempt, let's say the time takes is 30 minutes. So 10 minutes are left. Then you can try to, you have the option to choose between PJ and RC, because 10 minutes are more than enough to solve an RC, right? So in that case, of course, you can go for it. But any time left other less than 10 minutes should not be ideal for solving a hard RC. Okay. So I think we are very much clear on what we should do in VARC. I'm just pausing for a minute, expecting some of the questions, any comment, anything you didn't understand, or anything you want to say about the VARC, only about the VARC. अक्रम is saying आज एक मॉक दिया है उसमें आरसी में टाइम 20 minutes enough for 2 hours. Yeah, 10 minutes is a good time. If you are able to solve a RC in 10 minutes, that is good enough. Okay. बाकी mocks वगैरह, I don't think this is a good time to give mocks. You should just sit back and relax. Great. So I don't think there are any questions. If you're not able to get anything, whatever I am telling you, please ask me. Okay, I will be very much happy to help you. Great. So I think we can go on to the second section, that is DILR. So DILR, as the name suggests, this is nothing but the data interpretation and logical reasoning. Okay. Of course, you must be knowing these two terms as a simple part of problem. So when I say data interpretation, most of you know, I'm talking about either, let's say, this pie chart, maybe bar graph, maybe this, which one is this? Okay, whichever graph is this, then bar graph, something like this. Okay, line graph, this is line graph, right? So these graphs I'm talking about. So data interpretation is nothing but to read this graph to give me the data interpretations. So I can ask any questions out of these graphs and you should be able to answer that, if that can be interpreted from this particular set of data. Okay, the data can be in the form of tables as well. That can be a simple table as well. Now coming to the logical reasoning. Logical reasoning is nothing but a practical set of statements. So there will be a given set of statements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so many statements. You need to drive some inferences out of these statements, and based on those inferences, question may be asked. So this is about the logical reasoning. Now, when I explain these particular concepts, it looks very easy. Even when you understand the basic concept, let's say when I'm telling you how to read this particular graph, it will look very easy to you. But when combining all these and making a complex question or a practical situation, it becomes really impossible to even solve these practical situations, right? And this is what happens in the cat. So in cat, what happens is, out of these all things only, these simple concepts only, I will build a very complex problem statement, uh, so complex that it can take 10-12 minutes to just comprehend that particular problem statement. Okay, so this is what the case is in DILR. Now anyone just let me know what is the paper pattern for DILR, if anyone knows. How many questions will be there, how many sets will be there, what percent of DI I can expect, what percent of LR I can expect? Anyone? Yes. Anyone knows what is the pattern of DILR? जिनका 3 दिन बाद पेपर है, दे तो मस्ट नो ना. अच्छा, you don't want to unmute and speak. ठीक है, I will tell. Okay, I will tell. So there will be 20 questions in DILR, 4 sets. Okay, 4 sets of 20 questions. Now, out of 20 questions, these 4 sets can be either 4 cross 5, that is 5 questions each, or these can be 2 sets of 6 questions and 2 sets of 4 questions. Okay, total questions will remain 20, and the sets will remain 4. The most crucial thing in the DILR is, as you can see as well, that there are only 4 sets, right? So there are only 4 problem statements, and the time is 40 minutes. So they themselves are giving 10 minutes to do 10 minutes to solve only one problem statement. So they are themselves know that it is very hard problem statement. It will not be very easy that it can be solved in 1 or 2 minutes, right? It is not a quant question, that is it, they know. So a very crucial thing here becomes is which set you want to solve, because out of those 4 sets there will be some sets with the difficulty level higher than the other. So again I will put 4 numbers: first set, second set, third set, and fourth set. I will go through or just skim through all these 4 sets to mark their difficulty level. So what I will do is I will go on the first set, I will see whether I have solved the such set. I mean, there can be different parameters, whether I have solved this set previously or not, whether I know this particular concept or no or not, whether I have solved a similar question or not, whether I've solved a question using a similar concept or not, and so on. You will ask these 4-5 questions to yourself after skimming through the particular question, and then you will mark, let's say, first set as hard, second set as medium, third set as easy, fourth set also as medium. This is the difficulty level according to you. Now, either you mark this difficulty level, or either you set a order of priority. So let's say first set is the since I marked third as easy, so third set is my top priority. I want to solve this set first, then second set is there, then fourth set is there, and then first set is there. This is the order of priority that I have marked in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the DILR session. First 3 or 4 minutes, or maybe even 5. 3 or 4 is however more than enough. 3 or 4 minutes I will just do this thing. Just this thing will be drawn in first 3-4 minutes. Once I am done with this, I will jump onto the first set in the order of priority. So third set is the one that I need to solve. So I'll just go and solve this set. Okay. Now set solving is also an art, but at this point of time, if you are giving cat this year, then I can't really tell you like tips like how to solve these sets, or what exactly to refer and what not to refer. Okay, I'm not even focusing on that part as of now, that what to focus and what not to focus. So of course, set solving is always help you. Once you're done with the set selection, you need to solve that set, right? Now while solving the set, what will happen is that either you are not able to solve that particular set. Okay, so let's say you find it easy, but after spending 4 or 5 minutes on this particular set, you said that no, my prediction was wrong. So sometimes your prediction will be wrong. So in that particular time, either you assume that you will work little more minutes, let's say 3 4 more minutes, and then you will decide, or either you jump on to the next set. So once you are not able to solve, or either you are able to solve whatever time, let's say 8 10 minutes I have given to this set and I'm able to solve, then I will jump on to the next set in the order of priority. I will again go to the second set. I will try to solve it. Either I will be successful in solving it, then to no problem, I will be anyways going to the next set. If I'm not able to solve that, then also I will go to the next set. Okay, and that is how I will start moving from one set to next set. Now if let's say 5 questions are there for a particular di or lr set, it is not compulsory to solve all these 5 questions. Sometimes what happens is, if you're solving a particular set, you try to solve all the questions. But what can happen is, let's say there are 5 questions, even if the set is easy, you are not able to solve these 2 questions because it will take a lot of time. Then you can just leave these questions and you can solve just 3 questions and move ahead to the next question. So these type of calculated guesses you need to take. Okay, other than that, let's say after some time you solve 2 sets, but the time left in the end is only 5 minutes. Okay, now 5 minutes is of course not the right time to solve a new set. But let's say so there can be 2 cases. Either you are left with some questions in the previously solved left with questions in the previously solved sets. So that should be the first priority. You will go into the previously solved paper or the set, and you will see that which questions were left. You will try to find answer for them. Second priority should be a new set, but easy questions. So if there is 5 minutes left, you can't really solve the whole set. So what you will focus on is, there are 5 questions. If there are 2 easy questions, I will try to identify them and I will try to solve all those 2 questions in that 5 minute left. And that is how you will end the paper, how you will utilize the time left in the end. Even if 2 minutes are left, you need to maximize the impact of these 2 minutes in your score, right? You need to at least correct one question in that 2 minute. You can't just assume that I can't solve the whole set and that is why I'm just leaving the 2 minute of my precious time. Okay, so this was all about DILR. Again, I'm expecting some questions, some comments, anything if you want, and then maybe we will move ahead. And so sorry, second or third year guys, I'm not telling you what sources to prefer, what not to prefer. Maybe because the time is such that there should be a priority given to the folks who are giving CAT this year. Okay, so maybe we can interact next time some whenever you want, and maybe we can cover all those things, that how to start from the basics. So as of now, I'm not really covering that how to start the preparation from the basics. Okay. Arkam, were you there when I was telling you the brief of this session in the starting? I told you that which IIM conducts doesn't really determine how the paper will, or what the difficulty level would be. Okay. Great. So I think there are no questions. We should move forward to the QA part. Okay, maybe for the fresh questions, which sources to prefer, how many months are enough, and so on. If you are starting your prep, maybe those questions we can take in the later part of the session as well. Great. Coming to the QA, again the paper pattern. So I'm not expecting that you guys will tell me. So I'm just assuming there are 22 questions will be there. Out of these,
22 questions.
yes, 22 questions are there, and how many of arithmetic, algebra, and so on?
I think arithmetic 11, 12, and algebra 5 and 6, and modern math 2 and 3.
Okay. Okay. So I will tell you again. This is expected. Okay, this is expected. Nothing is sure. So around 9 questions you can expect from arithmetic. Okay. Okay. Around 6 questions you can assume, or even 5 questions you can assume from algebra. Okay. Uh, I will say around 4 or 3, 4 questions you can assume from geometry, and left will be from let's say modern maths. How many questions? 3, 4 are left, right? 9, 5,
2
4.
and 3 modern math, I think.
Yeah, so again 3 questions maybe you can see. So here you can, let's say, take 4 questions. Okay, so this should be a typical framework. Okay, so of course you can see arithmetic is the,
एक्चुअली भाई
yes, yes.
मैंने जो प्रिपेयर किया है अरिथमेटिक एंड ज्योमेट्री ओनली, तो दैट्स इनफ फॉर मी इफ आई चूज ओनली दीज पोर्शंस क्वेश्चंस.
Yeah, Arkham, so you will get answer. We will discuss how many marks versus percentile. Okay, so of course you can, if you are I mean let's say 9 plus 4 13 questions, you are marking them correct. If you are very sure that all 13 questions you will be marking correct, then we will discuss how much percentile you can expect. Okay, so that I will show you in the marks versus percentile.
ओके ओके.
Great. So this is the paper pattern. Of course, you can see arithmetic is the most crucial, followed by algebra, followed by geometry, followed by modern maths. Okay, and I'm considering geometry and mensuration here. So this is the paper pattern. Now, what should be the right way to attempt the paper according to me? So this is an ABC strategy. Okay. Now, when I say ABC, I will go question by question because there are only 40 minutes. So I will start from first question. I will go towards the 22nd, the last question. And what I need to do is I need to bucket this particular question. I need to bucket them in 3 categories. First is A category, second is B category, third is C category. A categories, I want to solve it now. If I want to solve it now, that means the time taken for this is less than 2 minutes. Okay. So any questions which is solvable or which looks easy to me, and I can solve that question in less than 2 minutes, I will solve it now only. Let's say I'm on the 7th questions, I will solve it and then only I will move to the 8th question. Okay. So that is for this A type of questions. Now there are B type of questions which I can solve, but not now. The question is solvable, but it might take less than greater than 2 minutes, and that is why I'm not solving it. Okay. So in these type of questions I will mark for review, and I will try to come back if time permits that. Okay. There is a C type of questions which can't solve, which I can't solve. Okay. So this though I will never solve. This though I will leave. I will just read and leave it. Okay. So this is how ABC strategy should work. You will just go from one question to second question to third question up to 22nd question. You will try to do that. You will solve the A type of questions. You will leave the B type of questions. And once you are done with this set of 22, you will again go back to first. You will try to solve these B type of questions. Now, B type of questions can be those questions as well which you tried to solve because you thought that these are A type of questions, but you were not able to solve. Okay. So any questions you tried to solve but you couldn't get the answer, you were making some mistake, you need to do that. Okay, you need to do it again, and that is why it becomes a B type of questions. So in the second round of your questions, you will do the B type of questions, and that is how you can maximize your attempts. And this is what seems the best way to attempt the QA paper according to me. Now the question selection becomes very crucial here. As I told you, remember your strength and weaknesses. If algebra, or let's say in arithmetic, time and work is your weaknesses, so don't really spend a lot of time on time and work, even if the question looks simpler to you. So there should be some strength and weaknesses that you have already identified. Please go across that only. So whatever you have identified, according to that only the paper will also go. Okay, nothing other than that. So you should not make any mistake in that. Don't even try to think that whatever I analyzed is wrong and I will do another thing in the paper. Don't ever change that, whatever the paper looks like. Okay, so this is all about QA. Again, if there are any comments, any questions, anything, any doubt, you can just ask me. I didn't attempt, Rohan, I didn't attempt with 100% accuracy. 100% accuracy is completely, that is totally impossible. Of course, that can, some people can do that, but that requires a chance as well. You require a luck as well. Okay. Otherwise, 100% accuracy is not at all possible. Of course, you can, like I think I attempted 24 questions and 22 was right or something like that. Okay. So of course you can do that if you are good in QA, you have attended a good number of questions, you have solved a good number of mocks, and that is it. Okay. I didn't really prepare much, so I prepared for 3-4 months. That is it. But quant was good. Quant was good for me only. So during engineering also, I used to solve quant a lot, and that is why I got a edge in quant. That's why. Okay. So of course you need to find your strength. So let's say you are good in one section, then you need to maximize your score in that particular section, right? So I think that answers your question. Going ahead to the marks versus percentile, and this is equally good for both the freshly start. So if you're thinking to start your preparation, then also it carries the same weightage as it is to someone who is giving CAT 3 days after. This is, you can see the total number of questions that are there in the CAT. Okay, so there are 24 plus 20 plus 22. That makes it 66 questions. So that makes the paper of 198 marks, right? Now what I wanted to know you is that not it is not really very hard to get, let's say, 99 percentile. Okay, because let's say if you're targeting 99 percentile, which is let's say here, so the score is only 84.33, which amounts to around 28 questions. Okay, so what I'm saying is, out of these 66 questions, you need to solve only 28 questions. That is even less than the half of it. Okay, you need to solve even less than 50% of the paper, and you can get the 99 percentile. This is what I am trying to say here. Okay, so I don't know how 99 percentile looks very hard to everyone, but if you really look at this fact and try to guess that only solving the half of the paper or even less than half of the paper is helping me to get the 99 percentile, then this fact will overall motivate you to get the 99%. And this looks really easy, right? So thing is that whatever is your target, you need to maximize your 99 percentile. So someone, let's say targeting 99.4 percentile, so they should target 90 marks, and that is giving them 30 questions, right? Okay, 30 questions right means your percentile should be 99.4, and this is 2022 data.
Bhai, how many mocks enough for this?
Okay, mocks you should give, last 3 months you should give 2 mocks if you are fairly new to the preparation. Now out of those 3 months, if you're giving, let's say, 30-40 mocks, this I'm talking only about the full length mocks. So 30 full length mocks should be more than enough. 30-40 full length mocks should be more than enough. Other than that, of course, sectionals will be there. You need to give the sectionals as well. But yeah, 30-40 mocks is a very good number to give. Okay. So yeah, coming back to what we were discussing, so I was just telling you that even if you are solving less than 50% of the paper, you will be able to get 99 percentile or even 99.5 percentile. Coming to a fairly lower percentile, so let's say you are targeting a lower percentile, only 93 percentile, then it is even easier. Only 53 marks can give you that much percentile, and if you look closely, this is just 17 or 18 questions correct out of 66 questions. Okay, so out of 66 questions, you solve only 17 or 18, and that will give you a 93 percentile.
भाई टीटा क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करना ज़्यादा बेटर है या फिर जो नॉर्मल क्वेश्चन है ऑप्शंस वाले वो ज़्यादा बेटर है?
Okay, okay. So that I will go back to, let's say, quant wala section. Okay, or let's say this DILR section. Okay, so in the DILR, let's say last 5 minutes are left. Okay, last 5 minutes are left, or let's say last 3 minutes are left. Now you can't really solve a new problem. You can't really solve a new problem. So here what you will do is you will solve a theta question. कोई भी theta question पकड़ के you will start to solve that. Because the thing is that even if you are not able to solve theta, you can mark a expected answer. So let's say there is a possibility of 0 to 9. You can mark, let's say, 7. There's a possibility that that can be correct, right? So that is why I'm selecting a theta. But let's say there are 10 minutes left after attempting all the things. So there are 10 minutes left. I can solve a full set. Do I even care that whether in this one set there are theta questions or not a theta questions? No, not really. Not really.
भाई
So,
लास्ट
yes.
मॉक्स में आपके कितने मार्क्स आ रहे थे जब 1 वीक और 2 वीक?
Okay, so to be very frank, I don't exactly remember, but it was good only. I mean, in some mocks I was not scoring good, particularly in VRC, as I told you, but baki to, I mean, I was scoring good only. So I scored 99 plus as well in most of the mocks. In some of the mocks I scored under 90 as well. So overall percentile was also under 90 in some of the mocks. In the starting, I faced a lot of challenges in the mocks. So that is it. I mean, percentiles used to vary. Sometimes it was very high, sometimes it was very low. But I was not at all expecting anything around 99.9. Of course, I was expecting at least 99 plus. I was expecting around 99.5 as well. But 99.9 was completely out of expectations.
सर वहाँ ब्लैंक पेपर मिलेगा ना?
हाँ, blank paper मिलेगा, rough sheet मिलेगी. This is a notepad kind of thing. So I think we have discussed the marks versus percentile. This is the overall, just for your reference. I'm also showing you VARC. So let's say you want to score only 90 percentile in VARC. So only 24 marks will be enough. And that is 8 questions out of how many questions were there? 24 questions. Only 1/3 of the paper, it will give you 90 percentile in VARC. So, I mean, I don't really understand what is the problem in getting this percentile. So if you are really studying enough, if you are ready to give your best, this should not be a problem. So don't even overthink about it, because these scores, the kind of score that you need to get a particular percentile makes it fairly easy. Similarly, if you can go in, let's say, DILR, let's say for 92 percentile, I only need to solve 16.95, and that is 5-6 questions correct. That is, I need to solve just one set correct plus 2 questions more. Out of those 40 minutes, in those 40 minutes, you need to solve only 5-6 questions. I mean, I don't know how simplest it can get, but to get 90 percentile in CAT in any section becomes fairly easy, because out of those 50 sections, out of these 40 minutes, you need to solve 5-6 questions, and that makes it around 7-8 minutes per question. So 7-8 minutes you are getting per question. So I don't know, I mean, to get a 90 percentile fairly easy, what you need to do is, let's say there are 3 sections: QA, VRC, DILR. You need to maximize the score in what your strong area. Let's say QA is my strong area, so I will try to maximize it. I will try to score as much as I can get. In VRC, let's say I'm happy with getting only 90 percentile, and getting 90 percentile is fairly easy. That I've already tackled, right? So, I mean, these type of calculations you can make, and these calculations will make your preparation a lot easier. If your target is clear, the preparation that you are doing should be fairly easy. Okay.
भाई मेरी प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रही, जो मैं मॉक दे रहा हूँ उसमें मैं फाइंड नहीं कर पा रहा कि कौन सा सेट ज्यादा टफ है, कौन सा इजी है. लेकिन जो ज्यादा टफ है वो तो खैर पता चल जाता है, लेकिन और 3 सेट में इजी वाला नहीं पता चल पा रहा कि कैसे टैकल करें ये।
ठीक है, तो लेट्स से तुमने 4 सेट उठाए, एक का पता चल गया हार्ड है, बचे आपके 3 सेट। सो इन दोज 3 सेट्स व्हाट यू नीड to do is ask 2-3 क्वेश्चन टू योरसेल्फ, हैव आई सॉल्व्ड सच सेट बिफोर। सो लेट्स से मैंने ये सॉल्व बिल्कुल सेम सेट पहले किया है, तो नॉर्मली वो 4 सेट वेन डायग्राम वाला एक सेट होता है, वो सबने किया होता है, तो वैसा कोई सेट आ गया सबसे पहले वो जाके सॉल्व करूंगा, दैट इज द फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी। लेट्स से दूसरा सेट है जो मैंने सेम सेट तो नहीं किया बट उस जैसा एक सेट किया था अपने प्रिपरेशन के टाइम, सेकंड प्रायोरिटी वो वाला सेट हो गया। थर्ड वाला लेट्स से ऐसा कोई सेट है जिसका कॉन्सेप्ट मुझे अच्छे से आता है, सेट मैंने कभी नहीं सॉल्व किया वैसे टाइप का भी, लेकिन मुझे कॉन्सेप्ट आता है, तो लेट्स से थर्ड प्रायोरिटी वो हो गया। Okay, I mean, you can do some things like that. You can ask some question to yourself and maybe you can decide that. Is it clear, Arkam?
Yes, thank you.
Coming to this QA marks versus, okay, Rohan is asking, can you please tell me what is the role of accuracy in CAT? So accuracy is nothing but the number of correct out of the attempt that you are doing. So let's say I have solved 10 questions, but out of that only 8 are correct, that means I am getting 80% accuracy. But let's say out of these 10, 9 are correct, that means 90% accuracy. So the percentage of questions that I am getting correct out of the total attempts. Okay, so this is for QA. Someone is asking me, let's say I have done only arithmetic and geometry, so that is 13 questions correct. So out of the 13, let's say you are doing a fairly good accuracy, so let's say 11 questions you are getting overall correct, so that amounts to 33 score, and 33 will somewhat lie here. Okay, so that should be some, your percentile should be in QA only between 97 and 99. So that can be, let's say 98 percentile you are getting only by covering geometry and arithmetic, and with a good around 80 plus accuracy. Okay, so yeah, that is it. I mean, you can see the marks versus percentile, you can know that what exactly and how it is very much doable, how it is not really very hard. Okay, and these 11 questions you are doing out of the 22 questions that are there in QA. So out of those 22 questions you are doing only 11, and then also you are getting 98 plus percentile. Okay, so this is about the marks versus percentile. So yeah, this was I think from my side. Last but not the least, I mean, these are a few things that you can keep in mind while giving the paper. If you really believe these 3 things, this will really help. So it's completely okay to make mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes.
Now only 2 days left. So what can I do now? Yeah, what I strategy at this time?
Okay, so as I told you, just sit back and relax. I have told you some good ways to attempt the paper. Just keep that in mind, that these are the things that I need to, and I have very much focused on the folks who are giving CAT after 3 days. I have already told you that how exactly you want to attempt the paper. Just keep those things in very much in your mind. If you are, let's say, not remembering any formula, then try to just memorize those formulas. If you have forgotten some concept, maybe revise that concept once, and that is it. Nothing other than that. Just relax with the family. I mean, that is it. Okay, nothing you can do in this 2 days. Just maintain your calm. Okay, so yeah, I was just telling you it's okay to make mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes in the paper itself where I have got this good percentile. So I was not able to solve the first set in the DILR itself. I completely wasted my 7 in first minutes of the DILR. Then also I've got a fairly good percentile in DILR. So it's okay to make mistakes. Don't really get panic only because you're making mistakes in the paper. Okay, second thing is, if you really believe yourself, even if your score never was good in mocks, then also you can make it. I myself have done it. I mean, I was the only one that was believing myself, and that is how I did it. So even you can do it. If I can do it, then anyone can do it, right? Now third point is a little bit practical. So let's say you are doing some rough work in the CAT exam. We very fair, each and every word should be clearly legible. Okay, you should read each and every word whatever you are writing. So rough work should also be very fair, so that if you need to come back on what did you solve, you can refer that. You need not to solve again and again the same question. Okay, so this was it from ours, my side. I will just take questions from you if you guys have any. I will also go through the chats so that I can answer some questions. Okay. Oh, why didn't you? Okay, this is a question coming again and again, so I will just answer this question. That why didn't you consider selecting any IIMs? First thing is JBIMS is a really good B school. Okay, you might not be, many of you might not be knowing about JBIMS, but this is one of the top 10 B schools in the country, and the fees is also fairly low. Okay, so fees is only 6 lakhs. That makes it a very competitive. I mean, that is really good. I mean, you need not to pay anything as such, and you are getting a good placement, good B school. And other than that, I was not able to get even calls from the top 4 5 IIMs. So JBIMS is equally good like K or I. So ABC is also above JBIMS, but other than that, there was, I mean, I was not even thinking of taking other IIMs. So I even rejected other. I mean, I got all the new IIMs calls, Shillong calls. So I didn't really take that because, I mean, I was very sure. In JBIMS, these MACT percentile I got in the later part. When I decided to leave those all offers, then I gave CET. Then I received the offer from JBIMS. So that was the later part. Okay, any other questions? How many question attempting as per you is safe to say will help us? I have already told you how many questions you should attempt. Do you think coaching is necessary? Coaching is good to have. I mean, it is not necessary. I myself didn't take any coaching, but if you're taking any coaching, you can of course take it. You need to choose a good coaching, and that will help you a lot. How many months of dedication do you require? A good 7 8 months of preparation is good to have. uh, uh, Otherwise, if you have only 3 4 months, then also you can do it. December is a good time to start. So after December you can start, and you will do great in CAT. Which coaching according to you is good for CAT? I will not advise any coaching. Maybe we can discuss when you can come personal to me, and I will share my views. Okay, I don't want to promote any coaching as such now. Okay. Okay, so I think it is fairly. I mean, I have covered anything. I will just wait 1 2 minutes for any other question if there is. I will just answer another question that is from Arbaz. Can you share your personal experience from BTech to MBA? It has been great. I mean, I was not really a studious student during my time. Okay, so I was just a fun-loving guy. I don't really like to study, so I didn't really care for what was happening. I was more into the teaching. So I used to teach kids. I used to teach in some coaching. So that is what I was doing during my BTech. I didn't really focus on my study. After MBA, after my BTech, there was COVID, so I was at home. So I just think that let's start preparing for CAT, and that's when I prepared for CAT. Then I got a good percentile. Then also I was into teaching only. I was teaching at Unacademy. So even when there was B schools interview was going on, I was teaching at Unacademy. I was taking full time classes. And thereafter, in the later years, I realized that maybe doing an MBA will help me, and that is when I decided to do an MBA. Okay.
Hello,
Yes, Maria.
I have one question.
Yes.
Do you think like because of the fact ki you had already done graduation, like you already did BTech, right? So what role did BTech play in your MBA? Like, did it help you, or like did it give you an edge or something?
Okay. So I will tell you, there are pros as well as cons for having an MB, having a BTech before MBA. So the pros are, let's say I'm in product management. Okay. So my work is in strategy, but it requires a product kind of background. So if you're going into product management career, then you must have a IT background, or at least the BTech, at least BTech you should have. So if you're, let's say, BSc, BCom, you can't really get into the core product management. So there are some career options that are open only because you have done your BTech. Okay, if you have a good work ex after your BTech as well, so that is all, that will also help a lot. If you have a good brand name, that will also help you a lot. Other than that, there are cons as well. So cons being, currently, I mean, I don't know if guys, if you guys are aware or not. MBB, McKinsey, Bain, and BCG are the dream companies of any MBA. Okay, so after MBA, everyone wants to get into these three firms, and these three firms currently are looking for candidates who are girls fresher and coming from a 3-year course, either BA, BSc, or BCom. Okay, this is a harsh reality. So they are not even shortlisting engineers. Okay, so of course that is one drawback. Other than that, if you are an engineer, there are less chances of you getting a. I mean, you need to get a high percentile to get a call from a same college. So yeah, there are cons as well. Rohan asked, please tell us about Jyoti Dwivedi. That is an internal scholarship of JBIMS. So I don't think that will help you. So for interview point of view, what things can we do to add in our resume to higher our chances of getting into good base schools? Did you observe? Yeah, I opt for JBMS placement. I summer interned at NPCI. So I got the PPO through my summer internship. So that is how I landed up in NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India.
Hello,
Okay.
Prashant bhai. I had a question.
Yes, Jupair.
So I had basically two questions. Firstly, you scored very good in the CAT, and you also have a good CET score. So why did you choose JBIMS over the IIMs? And the second question is that there is a fair amount of time in CET. There are approximately 3 months. So how can we go about the preparation of the CET? How can it be different from CAT preparation?
Okay. Okay. So first question, I think all I have already answered. Just to answer your question, JBMS is a good base school. I mean, it is at least out of those 20 IMs, it is better than at least 14 of them, or even 15, 16 of them. Other than that, I didn't really get a call from top IMs, ABC, so that was not an option for me. So after ABC, I didn't even get the FMS. So after ABC, FMS was the choice. After FMS, JBMS was the choice. And I didn't want to waste 1 year. So that was the reason. Coming back to the second question. So for CET, I don't really want you to prepare for CET if you're not non-Maharashtra student. Okay, but if you really want to prepare, just work on your speed. There's nothing new that you need to get. Just give some mocks for CET, work on your speed, prepare some new chapters that are in CET syllabus and not in CAT, like let's say logical reasoning. So there are different type of logical reasoning there. There's a what it is called, there is a I don't know what it is called. I'm not able to recall the one. There is a, let's say, images question which are not at all in the CAT. Okay, so you need to prepare for those differently. Other than that, in quants, VARC, they are a fairly easy question in a CET. So you need to just solve and move ahead. That is what you need to do. Okay.
Can you please tell the number of seats in JBIMS for outside Maharashtra candidates?
Only 18 seats are there. So
So I think
I
it's
don't
pretty
know.
difficult to get.
It is very, very difficult. I mean, it doesn't really make sense for you to prepare for CET. And if you really want to get into JVMs, or you're making that an option, then either give CMAT. I mean, give all. Let's say
Okay.
CMAT, CET, MAT also, ATMA also. So that can be
Okay.
one option. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to just prepare for JPIMS of being an all India candidate.
And are there any better ROI colleges like FMS and JBIMS that we can
FMS is
target?
there, TIS is there. Which one is
This is making admission through CAT from this year.
no, no, not from CAT. They're taking through this CUCET.
Yeah, CUT.
Yes, YouTube, whatever it is. Okay, yeah. So they are taking through that. So of course you can target that, and don't really think about ROI. If you're really going to do MBA, just go for it. If you can, of course, if you can take the loan. I mean, taking a loan should not be a problem. Everyone is taking it. Even if someone is having money, they are preferring to take a loan. If you are getting any out of top 20 colleges in India, you should go for it.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Any other question, or should we just close it? Great. So I think this was it. Thank you so much, guys, for being there. Maybe for fresh candidates, we can either have another interaction or something like that. And you can personally reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay. So LinkedIn is the best way. I mean, you can just personally message me, and I will try to reply to each and every message that I get. Okay. Great, guys. All the best to all the folks who are giving CAT this year. It was a great interaction. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much. So we'll have the vote of thanks. So you're requested to please stay till then. Okay, so I'll be starting with the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this event to a close, it is my distinct honor and privilege to deliver this vote of thanks. This day has truly been an insightful dive, and it wouldn't have been possible without the collective effort and support of many. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Prashant Chaudhary for making this event possible. We are truly grateful for you to taking out time from your busy schedule and enlightening us with your knowledge. I would also like to express our deep appreciation to the organizing committee who ensured the seamless execution of this event. And last but not the least, I extend my warm regards to all our participants and attendees for your enthusiasm and engagement and for being so interactive. Okay, in closing, I want to emphasize that today's event is a part of a broader journey. Let the knowledge forged here serve as a source of inspiration and motivation as we move forward. And also, I would like to wish all the best to all the participants in this year's cat, and all the best, and thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem, guys. Bye bye. Good night.